I want him to have visitation. I want him, you know,
He just acts a fool.
he just acts a fool.
Miss Byers, do you drink?
Occasionally, every once in a while, but not around my children. I will never drink in front of my children.
Just throwing out allegations against Mr. Albro. This court's going to call cause number 64515. This is in the 88th District Court of Hardin County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Maverick Albrough. Miss Gretchen Brock Byers, would you raise your right hand, please? Miss Byers, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Miss Brown Zito, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
All right. Let's see if I got some service on Mr. Albro. Oh, the court's going to find that Mr. Jermaine Albro was personally served a citation in this case on December the 28th, 2023 in Liberty County, Texas. That's where he was served. All right. That citation was turned on file with my court on January the 10th. That took him a while to get it back to me. So it's been on file for at least 10 days. He's had more than ample time to file his answer. No answer has been filed by Mr. Albro, so he is in default. The court is going to take judicial notice of its own file. Contained within my file is a notice of hearing signed off on by an attorney.
He was Maverick's father.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time I would offer the acknowledgement of paternity as Exhibit A.
Ms. Byers, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged acknowledgement of paternity for the child Maverick. Is it okay if I look at this acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
States Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
Do you have safety concerns with Mr. Albro?
Yes.
Can you tell the court what that is?
Okay. He's held a gun on me 4 times, twice when I was pregnant.
How recently was that?
That's been a couple of years ago. Last time that he did that was a couple of years ago, and I failed to turn that in, report that. He has threatened me. He has threatened me recently that he would shoot me, or if he finds out if I'm talking to someone, he would shoot me and that other person. He did find out how recently, within a couple of months ago, but just last week he found out who I was talking to, and he did tell them that next time they see him, that he's on site.
Were you there, Ms. Byers, when that threat was made?
No, I wasn't there. It was over the phone.
That's okay. Did he tell you that he made this threat to somebody else, or did somebody else tell you?
The somebody else is my boyfriend.
Okay, well,
And
you can't tell me what your boyfriend said.
Okay. Well, it was, he said that to someone else.
Okay, but you can't tell me that unless you were there and heard it.
Okay. All right. So he has told me in a text message that he would beat my ass next time he seen me. That's the only thing I have in a text message.
When did he send you that text message?
It's been a few months ago, or a few months ago.
Okay, so just a few months ago.
Yes.
Okay.
He has a few years ago, well, when I have a daughter, Hallie, she's 9. When she was 6, he pushed her out of the back of a moving car and busted her head open, and I had to take her to the hospital. I was there, but I failed to report it again. I was afraid. He's always threatened me, and I've always been afraid. He's got a drug and alcohol problem, and he carries a gun. And the gun is like a throwaway gun.
And are you afraid for your daughter to have, or your son to have visitation with him?
I am. Yes, I am afraid because he's got alcohol and pill and other drug problems, and I'm afraid for him to go off with him. He has taken my son off without a car seat, dropped him off at somebody's house that I don't even know, and I find out, and I have to go pick up my son in the middle of the night, and my son's screaming and crying. I've always been afraid to let my son go over there, but I've never wanted, like, Jermaine has always lived with his mom and dad. So his mom and dad are very religious type people, but Jermaine can push over on them. He runs them. So like when Maverick would go over there, he would go and stay with the mom and dad, and then Jermaine would see him like that. But of course, he would just take off with him and do whatever, drinking, no car seat, and put him in the back of the truck and by himself and ride around with him in the back of the truck by himself. And so,
Are you requesting back child support from him?
yes, I'd like to have it retroed all the way back.
Has he given, since Maverick was born, has Mr. Albro given you any support for Maverick?
None.
Have you lived during that time period since Maverick was born? Have you and Mr. Albro lived together?
No. He's never taken him to the doctor or anything. He's never asked how he was doing about like medically or anything, if he was sick. He's always asking me for money.
So are you requesting that his parents be the supervisors?
Not his parents, because I would request his brother, Danny Albro, and or his brother's wife, Cassie Cassandra Albro, to be the supervised. His brother is a very responsible, good father, has a very good job, takes care of his kids, his family, his wife.
Have you talked to the brother, Miss Byers?
Yes.
Have you?
I talked.
Hold on, just wait for my question, okay?
Okay.
Have you talked to him about being the supervisor in the visitation?
I've talked to the wife, Cassie, and she said she would.
Okay, good enough. Go ahead, Ms. Brownsie.
Does he have any other minor children?
No. He has two children, ages 20 and 18.
And is the 18-year-old already graduated?
No, ma'am. She lives with her mother. She just moved with her mother.
Is he ordered to pay child support on that child?
No.
How is Maverick covered for health insurance? I don't know if I asked you that.
Medicaid.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Byers, is Mr. Albro capable of working?
Yes.
All right, so he's not physically disabled as far as you know.
No.
He's not mentally been found mentally disabled as far as you know.
No.
Okay. Ms. Byers, do you drink?
Occasionally, every once in a while, but not around my children.
Okay, so if I put that in the order, you'd be okay with that?
That's fine.
All right. I don't want to restrict you, Ms. Byers, but it's probably easier for the order to just say everybody, okay?
That's fine.
All right.
I will never drink in front of my children.
That's good enough. And I just, like I say, I just don't want to restrict you. I don't have any evidence that you need to be restricted, but if it's not going to bother your lifestyle, then it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Exactly.
All right. Give me the name of the brother again.
Is Danny Albro?
Okay. Danny Albro. Good enough. And you know where he lives.
Yes.
And I'm assuming Mr. Albro knows where his brother lives.
Yes, next door to their parents.
Okay.
And
do you have any questions about this case, Ms. Byers, before I make a ruling?
I know Jermaine does have he will have a big problem with what I suggested about the people, his brother and them being the supervised. He's always
then he should have been here to argue against it.
Yeah, he's always had a problem. Like when they want to get Maverick, Maverick loves going over there. They're rodeo people. Maverick, they teach Maverick how to rope and do stuff, and they're very active with Maverick. And so they love getting Maverick, but every time, they get him, Jermaine has a problem with it. They pretty much have to hide Maverick.
Well, they can't do that in the future.
Okay.
These 4 hours that I'm going to give to Mr. Albro for visitation, that's when he's supposed to get a chance to visit with his son. Okay, they can't hide the child. You understand?
No, I know. What I'm saying is I'm just saying say last weekend when they wanted to get Maverick, but they have to because he'll go over there and want to get Maverick, yank him right out of their hands or something. They want to visit with him.
Right.
But yeah, they would be fine with that, but it's just that
these 4 hours that I give Mr. Albro every other weekend, those are his 4 hours.
Exactly.
So he's supposed to show up at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and he's going to get supervised visit at his brother's house from 1 to 5, and then after 5 o'clock, the visitation's over.
Exactly.
Okay. So you can't be. So as long as the brother understands that, everything will be fine.
No, but basically what it is, not like, I'm just saying, like, like anybody that gets Maverick, Jermaine has a fit about. He don't want him going to anybody. Like, he's jealous. He's highly jealous of anybody doing anything for Maverick. And so, like, and in the past, I have, they wanted Maverick to come stay the night, and I've brought Maverick over there, and they take him like ice skating and do things with him. And then Jermaine, in the middle of the night, finds out that he's over there next door, and he wants to go over there and just get him in the middle of the night, drunk. So anytime that, what I'm saying is, anytime that Maverick goes over there to visit, they have to like not say that he's over there, because they're scared and I'm scared that he's going to go over there and be drunk and do something stupid and yank Maverick out of, their house. So that's what I'm saying. They would not hide Maverick from Jermaine for visitation and stuff. It's just like in the past, that's how Jermaine is. He's highly jealous. He don't want anybody doing for his kids. He don't even do for his kids. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. It's very childish what he does.
Okay, well, let's hope he grows up and matures.
I hope so.
I can't. Miss Byers, do you just not want me to give him visitation?
No,
Okay.
I want him to have visitation. I do.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying, like.
Well, I mean, what I'm telling you, Miss Byers, is that I hear the fears and the anxiety, but unless somebody's willing to pay $1,000 a visit to have security there to make sure that there aren't any issues, then I can't. I don't have the money to pay somebody to run security on Mr. Albrough's visitation. I mean, I understand, Miss Byers, that you're trying to give me this information, but I'm trying to figure out how you want me to act on that information, and I can't.
No, I'm just no. I want him to have visitation. I want him, He just acts a fool. He just acts a fool whenever somebody.
I don't need to hear from somebody off the screen, Miss Byers.
Okay. Yes.
I don't. They're not under oath, and they're not allowed to testify in my court unless they call themselves as a witness. They get under oath, and I know they're telling the truth.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So please don't be taking any more direction from anybody off screen. I understand how easy it is to do on Zoom, but I don't allow it. All right.
Yes, sir.
See, I need you to understand, Miss Byers, from my side of the camera. From my side of the camera, I'm going to try to make a restricted visitation order to prohibit Mr. Albro doing anything that's going to put Maverick in danger. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But it requires you and the people that are supervising the visitation to ensure that Maverick is going to be safe. That means if Mr. Albro is doing something stupid, illegal, or dangerous toward Maverick, then the police have to be contacted. And
yes,
Mr. Albro has to be prosecuted. Okay. Just throwing out allegations against Mr. Albro about stuff that he's done in the past when you took no criminal action against Mr. Albro does not put me in a position of strength. Okay. Because it didn't put you in a position of strength. Because then you just come in here and throw out all the allegations, but then you don't have anything to back up that you actually took the legal steps necessary to make sure that you, your children, or Maverick were protected.
Yes, sir.
So I listen and I hear what you're saying about the allegations against Mr. Albro, but because you didn't take the steps you needed to make sure that this went forward, I can't use that against Mr. Albro.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
If you didn't take the steps, I can't take the steps.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to do everything I can, at least on paper, to make sure that Maverick is protected.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
The court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find that it is not in Maverick's best interest to name the parties as joint managed conservators. Miss Byers will be named as the sole managed conservator. Mr. Albro will be considered to be a possessory conservator. He will have visitation at any and all times mutually agreed to by the parties. If no mutual agreement, then he is going to have a phased-in visitation schedule. There will be 20 visits at each phase, Ms. Brown-Zito. That will be 20 supervised visits in the home of Mr. Danny Albro. And once those 20 visits are completed, then he will have 20 unsupervised visits for the same period Then once those 20 visits are done, then he'll have 20 visits unsupervised for the day. When those visits are done, then he'll have 20 visits unsupervised with one night overnight. Once that last section of phased-in visitation is completed, then Mr. Albro can have standard possession. We'll get back to that in a second, Ms. Byers, so I can explain it a little further, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to order Ms. Byers to maintain the health insurance that she has on the child. Mr. Albro is going to pay child support as per a minimum wage presumption, $225 a month in child support plus $25 a month in cash medical. All payments beginning March 1st of 2024. $4,275 in retroactive child support that'll be paid back at the rate of $50 a month, also beginning March 1st of 2024. Mr. Albro will be responsible for court costs, but I'll give him until August 31st of 2024 to pay court costs. At no time is either party allowed to use alcohol or illegal drugs while in possession or around the children, around Maverick. Right? That will be in the main part of the court order, Ms. Brown-Zito, right after the possession paragraph.
Yes,
that
sir.
will be a permanent restriction in regards to contact rights with the child. All exchanges of this child will be at the home of Danny Albro, okay? Because I am granting the request for non-disclosure. I do find that there has been threats made. I can't make a finding of family violence, but I can make a finding of non-disclosure. But Ms. Byers has said that she's willing to take the child and exchange the child at the home at Danny Albro, and so she doesn't have to give her address. She can just make sure that at the start of every visitation, she's at Mr. Danny Albro's house, and that's where the exchanges will take place.
So I don't need to put that address in there, Judge.
Yeah, you'll need to put it in there. If you want to get it from Ms. Byers after the hearing, that's fine.
Yes, sir. That's what I will do.
All right, so that's going to be the order of the court. Ms. Byers, let me explain this visitation to you a little bit. So I've ordered 20 visits at each phase, okay? So that
Yes,
means it's going to take him 10 months of supervised visitation before he moves on to the next one. That doesn't mean he's got to do supervised visits for 10 months, Ms. Byers. It means he has to do 20 supervised visits, okay? He doesn't get to move to the next phase until he's done those 20, okay?
Yes, sir.
What that gives you the right to do, Ms. Byers, is you get the right to watch it. And Danny, the brother, gets to watch it. And if between the two of y'all, you think that the supervised visitation needs to continue, that will give you sufficient time to hire an attorney and file a modification to extend that supervised visitation, okay?
Okay.
But I can't assume that Mr. Albro is going to continue to do bad action. But at least that will give you sufficient time to get back into court if that's what you need to do, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Byers, you have any questions about my ruling?
No, sir.
They're going to send me the order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it, get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it and send it to you and to Mr. Albro, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I appreciate you being here today. Is that Maverick?
Yes, sir.
He's shy. Hi, Maverick.
Say hi. Oh, he is shy.
Yeah, I told you he's shy. I know. I had one just like him, super shy. I got bad news for you, Miss Byers.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna grow out of it.
Well, he's shy right now, but he's a wild child.
He's gonna grow out of it with everybody.
Mm,
They rarely do they stay shy. All right. He's a beautiful young boy.
Thanks.
All right. I wish y'all the best of luck. You're free to go.